Greetings and welcome to From the Basement. In this video, we're going to talk about what the intent is behind forbidding the book resources for the Galactic Mailer project. There's quite a few of them. First of all, it's honestly best to use your own artwork when you go to make your own games. There are places where you can get artwork and sound and music files that are fairly easy to tell that, okay, yes, they're free and clear for commercial use. In Computech, OpenGameArt.org, places like that. However, there's other places on the net where it's considerably more questionable. For example, SoundBible.com, an excellent resource for sound effects, but there's a lot of the resources on there are for non-commercial use only. So school projects or projects that you're not going to charge money for, fine. You want to try and put it up on, Desera or the Android Marketplace for a couple bucks, and now you got problems. And so it's just generally a good idea to use your own artwork when possible. The other reason is that if you're going around through the internet, gathering in a whole bunch of stuff from various sources, it can be very difficult to make that fit together seamlessly. You'll be able to tell by looking at it that all this material, all these resources were gathered from multiple sources. And it's going to give your project a bit of a schizophrenic feel to it. Finally, sometimes you just need placeholder art while your artists are working on things. You might actually have some really awesome artists on your team, but it's going to take them time to create all those resources. While they're creating it, you need something in its place. And if you are capable of creating something that's good enough, it's not exact, it's not anywhere near production quality, but it's close enough to the final effect that you can use it for now. So for our example, the spaceship will be close enough, but it's not going to be, final artwork quality or anything. But we'll be able to tell which end's the front, which end's the back. Here's these cheesy little red sparks here are the thruster flames, things like that. So, what kind of tools are we going to need for this? Well, to start off with, an image manipulation program. As I mentioned in some other videos, I know GIMP. It's free to acquire legally, and it's honestly a really powerful program. It's got, I don't want to say it's got the full functionality of Adobe Photoshop. I think Adobe Photoshop does have some more features to it, but it's pretty darn close. And if you're not a pro-grade artist, you're honestly not going to tell the difference. So GIMP is an excellent program. Highly recommend that you use it. If you want to use something else, feel free. Adobe, Paint.net, heck, Microsoft Paint, if you know how to use that one well enough. Whatever image program that you want to use. Now, this definitely falls in the category of, don't buy it just for this class. But an Intuos tablet can be of great use. Now, they used to be called Bamboos. This is the model that I have here. This is a little Bamboo pin and touch tablet. Wired, it's not a wireless, doesn't need anything fancy like wireless tablets or anything. And it's a small little tablet, doesn't have anywhere near the pressure sensitivity of, say, a $3,000 Cintiq, but it also didn't cost me $3,000 to buy. You can get, like I said, they're now called the Intuos. You can now get a small Intuos tablet for $80. The reason why I bring this up is using these things to draw with is very difficult. A mouse is not going to be your first choice to draw things with, as I just completely freak out my background there. So, like I said, don't rush out and buy it for this course. It's not what I'm saying. But if you're serious about game development, even if you're on the programming side, having, a small little tablet like this actually comes in handy a lot more frequently than you would think. So that handles the art side of things. What are you going to need for sound? Well, for making sound effects, BFXR honestly is probably your best option. Now, I want you guys making your own sound effects for the Galactic Mailer. I don't want you finding sound effects. Sound effects are easy enough to make between tools like BFXR and Audacity, which I'll talk about in a moment. So sound effects you got to make. Same with the graphics. You got to make your own graphics. No finding graphics or sound effects on the net for the Galactic Mailer project. I will go over this program in detail in a separate video. Audacity, there's a lot of fake Audacity links out there. If you go to download Audacity, make sure you are getting it from sourceforge.net. Do not download it from a different website. So Audacity.sourceforge.net is the official page of Audacity. Don't get it someplace else. And while Audacity isn't all that great for Foley work, for really abusing and manipulating sound waves, it's pretty darn good actually. So it's a good starting point, like if you want to record your own sounds. Now, what can you use to record your own sounds? Well, most laptops, which I'm using right now, have built-in microphones to them. Webcams have built-in microphones. These microphones aren't really good though. You're going to get a lot of static. If you've got a good quality gaming headset for voice chatting, you could potentially use that. And options go up. Now the sound's going to cut out for a moment on the video because I want to show the microphone I'm using. There you go. I wanted to cut the sound on that because that's a pretty darn sensitive mic. So if I'd left the mic recording while I picked it up, you'd have gotten all kinds of booms and clicks and stuff. Now, obviously, again, please don't go out and buy a Blue Yeti microphone for this assignment. A total overkill. Blue Yeti microphones actually aren't all that bad as far as midline audio gear goes. Just pointing out that you've got options. Built-in speakers obviously are going to give you the lowest quality sound. Something like a Blue Yeti microphone. You turn the sensitivity up on that sucker, you'll be able to hear your air conditioner running on it. It really depends on where you want to go with it. For music resources, now music, I will let you find music. As I mentioned in the Dragon video, music has a direct link to our heartstrings. It's got a direct emotional response to us. Therefore, bad music is just, cringe. Now, bad music will turn you off 100 times faster to something than bad art will. And since I've actually got to listen and grade all of your projects, I really don't want to endure 14 or so projects of hideously malformed music. So if you can't compose, go find music. OpenGameArt.org has a very good selection of tunes for games, and Incompetech also has a good selection of music for games. And hopefully I can get rid of this cough sometime soon. Beatbox is an excellent option for being able to compose chiptunes. Again, I'll have a video on it. And Abundant Music, if you take the time to learn the procedural settings on this, can create some pretty interesting stuff as well. And I'll have a video on that as well. Okay, so that covers the basis of why we're doing this and what some tools are. The next video is going to cover a lightning fast review of GIMP. Honestly, there's better GIMP tutorials out there on the web. I just want to do a lightning fast overview of the absolute most basic tools that we're going to be using. And then we will use GIMP to manufacture our asset list. After we've used GIMP to manufacture our asset list for our visual assets, we'll take a look at our asset list for audio and manufacture those. Once we're fully done manufacturing our assets, then we will move on into the book and actually start creating the project. So, until then.